Did you vote Trump?
Yeah. So you're saying that Trump likes sexual assault?
I said Donald Trump was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a
Yeah,
woman.
yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't. I mean, that's he was found guilty. He paid his lawsuit. So
So you'd vote for him then?
yeah.
Okay, would you vote for someone? Would you vote for Trump if you were held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child?
Nah.
Okay, so what's the relevant difference between the victim being an adult and the victim being a child that means you would vote for Trump if the victim were an adult, but you wouldn't vote for Trump if the victim were a child?
Obviously, no difference. I'm gonna explain it.
Yeah, okay.
But
Okay. So then you have no reason based upon your own ethics to vote for Donald Trump. You're just saying that because you're in a cult, right? And that you're trying to defend him regardless of your intuition against it. Because you clearly have an intuition that you
I
wouldn't want to
already
vote for
said he has
somebody
a
who did
bad
that.
character. I mean, I already agree with you on that.
But that's
But I
that's
didn't.
that's enough of a deal breaker for you that you wouldn't want to vote for them.
If it was on a child, yeah, I wouldn't vote for him.
Yeah, but if it was on a woman, then you would, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so then again, you have no relevant quality that's different. That means that you
And
would
so did
vote for them in one
74
scenario
other
but not the
million
other.
voters.
What's up?
And so did 74 millions of other people.
Millions of other people. What about it?
They voted for him too, and they all knew that.
And that's a bad thing.
It is a bad. Well, no, it's not. It's not a bad. It is a bad thing, but again, I think people are thinking of how he's going to run the country, not his character.
I understand, but most people don't even know the policies. You didn't even know the
I know.
policies,
Yes,
right?
I know.
So
Yep.
it's like you're saying like you're going to vote on policy. It's not based upon character, but then you have an issue bringing up the policy. Doesn't really make any sense, and it
Yes.
just sounds like you're fucked up, right?
No, I'm not fucked up, but
Yeah, if you don't see those things as issues, I think that's pretty fucked up.
I mean, there are issues. I already told you this, dude. I mean, obviously, he's a terrible person, but how's he? So let me ask you this: you think the tariffs have failed? You think they're not working?
Well, they're not even implemented right now because of
Well, because of why?
maybe on actually I think they are on China.
Why aren't they?
There was a pause
Why?
because they said that they came to an agreement, but
Right.
actually the thing that was set up, particularly as the quote unquote agreement, was already announced by Canada literally in December when Biden was president. So that's ironic that you like
They
attributed it
announced
to.
it, but now,
So you
okay, they
attribute it.
announced.
It's really crazy that you attribute it to Trump, but he wasn't even president. He didn't even do anything to get the deal done, and it was done through negotiations. Appreciate the head mustache, like that the Biden Harris administration engaged in that did not require the threat of tariffs.
So what
So
about
like,
Mexico?
wait, so are you just gonna ignore that this was also applied on Canada? And I'm pretty sure the same thing was also true for Mexico, that they
So
already announced that they were doing this. So again, my
how
point
much
is
is
that they're allies. We can engage in negotiations with them
so
without the use of tariffs or threatening them, right? And they'll want to do it because they're our friends, they're our allies, right? And we benefit them,
hmm
we help them.
So I have a question for you. If say Canada was to get attacked by another country, who would be the first country to protect Canada?
Us,
Right. So I
unless
think you
that
should be giving
country
us.
was us.
I mean, you really gotta pay for
But it
protection.
sounds like it could be our country now.
Trump already said he would never do
Wait,
that.
Donald Trump said he might use economic coercion to take Canada.
That's
That's what he
not using our military.
is. That now bad?
I mean, basically, Canada basically already is a 51st
No,
state. I mean,
dude, wait. One, you would make Canada one state. Two, most Canadians do not want to be a part of the United States. Three, that's fucking insane. You sound like you want to literally take over countries right now. Like that's
well, I
you said
mean,
you said practically
what would Canada be without the
you want to
USA
force
though?
Canada into an annexation.
I have a question for you. Would Canada be a good country without the USA?
Yes.
How? How much? How much of their economy is because of the USA?
Wait, that doesn't mean that they wouldn't be a good country without the United States. If what? You
They'd be like a broke country.
wait, you would say that they might be worse off. Of course, you could say the U.S. would be worse off if it didn't have Canada.
Oh, that's not true.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. If you got rid of all trade from Canada, prices would go up massively
Yeah, and oil and gas.
on
That's about
oil and
it.
gas, on lumber for housing development.
Lumber, there's plenty of lumber in the USA.
That doesn't mean that prices wouldn't go up.
They wouldn't.
They would.
Gas and
Wait,
oil,
wait, wait.
yeah.
If you reduce the supply of lumber, that causes the price to go up. If you have any brain cells, you would know that.
Well, there's so much supply here that we haven't even bothered to use because we're buying stuff from Canada just to keep them running.
What? No, we're not buying stuff from Canada
Yes,
just
we
to keep
are.
them keep them running. We're buying stuff from Canada because they either have a higher quality good for a lower price or they have the same quality good for the same price. That's the reason. That's how the market
Hmm.
functions. You know that, right?
Yeah. I just believe in pay for protection, really. It should be paying for protection. So should
Yeah,
every
yeah.
other country that we
You know
protect.
who also believes in that? Negan from The Walking Dead and the Saviors. You know who also you know who also believes in that
Oh my
ideology?
God. Who?
The mafia. Okay, so like I don't want to hear your mafia mentality. I don't want to
That's
hear
not a
your
mafia. What could
Negan ideology. I want to hear like actual arguments for what you're going to do to better the
yo,
United States citizens' average daily quality of life. And if you can't provide that to me and all you can provide to me is massive tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires, well then that tells me that Donald Trump has private corporate interests that benefit him and his rich buddies, and he does not have the interest to benefit the middle class individuals that are working to uphold the businesses that he profits off of.
okay.
Okay.
So what about North Carolina?
What you mean? You mean North Carolina, the $750 that they got because Republicans voted to cap the funding from FEMA that Donald Trump brought up recently that he said that he might actually get rid of FEMA. So do you want less FEMA funding for the North Carolinians?
What the heck? Did Kamal even go and like visit them?
Kamala, by the way. What's up?
Sorry, sorry. How do you say it again? Kamala?
Kamala, yeah.
All right, my bad. Kamala, Kamala. All right,
Kamala.
Kamala. Just like that.
Kamala. You can also say VP Harris.
VP Harris.
Yeah.
Ex VP Harris.
Just say Harris then.
So you really think? So what? Okay, besides the tax cuts, that's all you seem to bring up. What would Kamala do better than Trump? I
Kamala.
said, Kam.
Yeah.
I've
So
been saying like that for like two
outside of
years.
just the tax cuts, well, she was advocating for a $2,000 cap on like pharmaceuticals out of pocket. So that would be good for
Didn't Trump sign a bill to lower?
$35 cap on insulin for people who are on certain aspects of Medicare. Kamala Harris, through the Inflation Reduction Act, which she was the tie-breaking vote on, got
Mhm.
a $35 cap on insulin for everyone on Medicare, not just for part of it. So Kamala Harris did what Donald Trump was wanting to do but couldn't. And that's what Donald Trump does. He says the same thing over and over again. The election was rigged. The election was rigged. The election was rigged. The election was rigged. Where to people, it genuinely becomes true after a while. That becomes
It
reality to
was rigged.
them. Okay, let me debate you on that. You believe it was rigged. Why did they steal it in 2020, but then they just forgot to steal it in 2024?
Uh,
My point exactly. You got no evidence. 60 plus courts indicated no sufficient evidence to overturn the election. There were MAGA judges that oversaw these cases that indicated no sufficient evidence to overturn the election. Yet you believe that the election was rigged because Donald Trump just said so, right? He could have easily lost the election in 2024 because of them stealing it, like they stole it in 2020, but that didn't happen. Why? Because the election wasn't fucking rigged and it wasn't stolen.
okay,
And there's
Parker.
no
What
evidence
about
indicating that.
Parker? What?
Oh, he muted.